How was the break? Good to give the body a rest?
Yeah, really good. More mental rejuvenation more than anything, and you get to catch up with family and friends. I know one of my mates came over that I grew up with and got to spend some time with him, so it was good to have those 4 days to get away and really rejuvenate and get ready for the second half of the year.
Was it extra helpful for you given you had that cork shin going into the last game?
Yeah, lots of players have niggles and that sort of stuff, and those sort of 4 days, even though you still got a training program over the break, you don't get any knocks or anything like that, so it's good to get that little break as well.
It looked a bit like in the last 2 games that the whole team was fatigued. Did you feel that as a group, or was it just the way it sort of felt?
Yeah, I think those 2 games, it was a wet, hard slog. We had some tough conditions, and I think every player at that stage of the year is, play 10 straight games, you're sort of looking forward to having a break mentally, like I said, and physically it gives you that little rest that you need.
Do you guys taper off at all during the middle part of the year just to give the bodies a rest in terms of training loads and GPS numbers and things like that?
Our strength and conditioning coaches have a program and a plan for us so they can get the best out of us, and we just go out there and train, and they sort of tell us what to do. But I've got full faith that they have the best program for us, so that when it comes to the weekend, we'll be at our optimum every single time.
So you don't taper off at all, you just manage week to week depending on how everyone's feeling?
Everyone sort of gets an individual program based on how you're feeling, how your body is, and like you said, those numbers and that sort of stuff, they look into that and they're across that, and they sort of devise a plan for the team and individual players.
What's the approach to the start of the back half of the year? What have been the instructions from the coach?
Yeah, look, we had a really solid session yesterday, and really looking forward to Collingwood this week. They're up and about and they're flying, so that's our focus now. We're just focusing just on Collingwood and trying to get a result.
They'll probably look closely at what Richmond did, particularly in the first quarter. How do you sort of counter that, or do you just write it off as an aberration?
We reviewed the Richmond game, and publicly we spoke about it, and Ross spoke about our desire levels weren't high enough, and the second half you sort of lifting our intensity and our desire levels, and it's not a massive drop off, it's only that 5%, and against quality sides, that's every side in the AFL, it shows that 5% off and you get found out really quickly. So that's what we've really been focusing on is that consistency of being at your peak optimum every time.
Lee, a lot of people believe the bye came at the perfect time. I mean, you started the year so brilliantly. How do you go about building that momentum again for the start of the second half?
Yeah, it's always hard to always be up and about every time, mentally as well as physically, and we do a lot of stuff where we sit down and we review, have imagery and those sort of things, and like you said, the bye came, that gave us a real break to refocus and really tap into what drives you. And for some players that's family and that sort of stuff, and get that break and really drive yourself for the second half of the year.
On Collingwood, they were in a sort of a similar position last year, then faded the second half. But what do you sort of think they've improved this year in terms of being able to maintain their performances?
Yeah, look, certainly, like you said, they're scoring really well. Defensive, they're really good. They're a really good press side, which they have been for a number of years, and they're really bringing that intensity and pressure around the ball. So we're under no illusion it's going to be a hot, intense game, and who can go harder for longer for the 4 quarters and do the basics well will come out with the result.
Travis Cloke's obviously been in great form. That's a natural fit for Luke, I'd say, but someone like a Jamie Elliot's also been pretty handy. Is that sort of someone that you think you'd like to line up on?
I've played Jamie Elliott a couple of times, and like you said, that pressure around the ball carrier, sort of the way it comes in really helps the defence. If it can come in not perfect laced out, it gives the defenders a chance. So there's a big emphasis on pressure around the ball.
How hard is he to sort of match up on though? He's a small fella, but he's pretty quick, great skills, but also can take a mark. I mean, how hard do you find it lining up with someone who's got so many strengths?
Yeah, certainly. He works really hard, and like I said, he's got that great leap and that great launch, and he works up and down, and he's in really good form. So it'd be a really tough opponent, and you just got to do everything you can to try and stop him.
How are Zach and Alex tracking in terms of Alex Savani, that is, in terms of their recovery and getting back to full fitness?
Yeah, look, they're going really well. Zach's out training at the moment with a guard on, and Zach times I'm not really across. I think you have to talk to strength and conditioning coaches about that. But from our side of it, they're doing everything they possibly can. You see them always in the gym, always doing recovery, the extras to get them back as quick as possible. Hopefully we'll see them really soon.
The coach and Garrett early last week both spoke about a little bit of a drop off in the quality of ball movement you had from D50 to inside 50 in probably the last 3 weeks. What are the adjustments you've needed to make over the last 4 days of training or 3 days of training to just review and reset on those things?
Yeah, look, we didn't have great use of the ball, and the conditions didn't really help. Against the Gold Coast it was quite wet, and Adelaide the same, and Richmond it was still a bit greasy. So it's just that hitting the target and then getting it in, and everyone wants to move the ball quick, so you get the ball quick to one-on-ones and hopefully you can win a contest.
Is it a reset of decision making as well as, I mean, execution comes under those conditions, but was there some decision making things that you need to readdress?
Yeah, as a player, look, you got to play the game. I mean, you can't be perfect every time, and if you see a free player, you got to use them. So that's really what we've been focusing on.
What about the Thursday night footy, the big stage? Do you enjoy that that atmosphere?
Yeah, certainly. It's a great chance to play on a Thursday night, especially at home in front of our fans. So really looking forward to a Thursday night game, and hopefully it's great conditions and we can have a good contest of footy.
Is it important to get a win this week, given Matthew's testimonial? I mean, you'd love to win every week, but it will make Friday night a better function.
Yeah, I don't think it's any consideration. I think every week we want to win and keep improving to give ourselves the best chance to keep going forward and make the ultimate, make a grand final.
Can you give us some thoughts on that? I mean, Matthew's had plenty of great milestones and things that have happened over his career, but some thoughts on, you know, what he means to you and the leadership group and the club as a whole?
Yeah, look, Matthew's a special player, and you just list his achievements, you know, all the All-Australians and best and fairest, and the list could go on and on. But Matthew's really a testament to him of how many games he's played and how long he's been and how much of an elite preparer he is, and that's the thing he instills most in the group, is how he ticks every box and dots every I and crosses every T in his preparation to get himself up and play his role for the team. So that's what he passes on through the list.
Have you spent much time with him personally, given you've been in the leadership group and learning some of the things that makes him a great leader?
Yeah, certainly the way Matthew addresses the players, and when he plays, he instills, you know, that belief and confidence in you with the way he attacks the ball and the way he leads. So certainly you pick up little things as you go, and in the short time I've been at Fremantle, it's been a privilege to play with him.